Hello and welcome. My name is Thomas, and in this video I'm going to give you a behind the scenes sneak peek of a new WordPress theme I'm creating called CreateKit. Okay, so something I like to do from time to time on this channel is just give you a little bit of a behind the scenes look of something that I am currently creating or working on, and that just so happens to be exactly what is happening today. So if you didn't already have a chance to catch my last video where I talked all about why you should own your own platform, I highly recommend that you go back, check out that video. I'll leave a link below, or maybe there will be one up above me as well. Click that link, head on over there, check it out. This video will still be waiting for you after you watch that video. So in terms of this video, what I wanted to do, like I said, was give you a little bit of a behind the scenes of what I'm working on and kind of tie it together with some of the principles that I talked about in that previous video. There's some really important things that you'll want to kind of be aware of and understand. Otherwise, some of these things may not make a whole lot of sense. But just to recap a little bit, just to kind of set us up as we go in and we start to look at some of these website mockups. One of the things that is super important in terms of owning your own platform is to have a place that people can come back to over and over again. And one of the biggest problems with so many websites out there is that they are static. They have a home, they've got an about, they've got some information of maybe packages or services or products or something in that realm, and then maybe a contact us form. So for most people, a website tends to be little more than a digital business card. No reason for people to return time and time again. Now, sometimes what people will do is they'll incorporate a blog into their site, which is great because it is relevant and useful and regular content, but most blog themes out there aren't tailored for people to return time and time again. Or on the opposite side, maybe they're not tailored for people who are visiting for the first time. Let's say you go to a blog and you're brand new and you're trying to learn about this person. Well, the newest piece of content that they've created may not be the most relevant for you. Maybe you want to see something else to get you up and running with some tools and tips, or maybe you just want to find out more about the type of work that they do or something down that route. That's where it helps to have a website that is geared specifically to content creation and not just blogging, not even just a podcast, maybe even video content and images as well, which is why I decided to start the process of creating a new WordPress theme I'm calling CreateKit. So before we go any further, do be forewarned, this is in the very early design phases. So development has sort of started, but essentially this theme is very much in the creation process, let's put it that way. So a lot of the things here you'll see are not representative of what will be in the final product. However, I just want to show you these things just to kind of get you thinking as well about what you're going to be doing for your personal brand and for your business's online presence. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these mock-ups so I can give you a behind the scenes of what I'm working on and how these things will come into play as the theme moves forward. Okay, so here we are within an app that I use for all of my mock-ups and designing, specifically for websites and building, and it's called Sketch. What you'll see here is kind of a visual representation of how the theme will actually look once it goes live. You'll notice as I go through some of these mock-ups, I've got a lot of this kind of lorem ipsum or placeholder text, so you can kind of ignore that in terms of from a content perspective, and instead just look at this more from kind of a design and a layouts point of view, so you can kind of get an idea of the direction that I'm going to be going with this. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of variation here, but the first thing we'll see is that there is a primary call to action or primary piece of content right here, and then a list of content off to the side. Now this is specifically kind of a layout that would appear for somebody who is going to be doing more written content. So if you've got a blog, you'd have a featured article, either A, something you want people to read first, like we talked about just a little while ago, or it could be your latest content. Then off to the right, I've got this section right here. It says trending, so this would be the most popular articles of the week. But it wouldn't have to be that. It could also be the latest content, or it could be selected content. These two pieces would be customizable within the theme. The other thing that's really neat about this particular layout is that what I'm going to be doing as I build this is I'm going to actually be putting in customizable columns. So each of these, or I should say rows, each of these rows are going to be customizable. So for example, in this mockup, it says the latest from YouTube. However, you could put your latest articles, your most trending articles, your latest podcast episodes, and then there's going to be a button off to the right where people can click to see all of that content. It's a little bit similar to YouTube. If you're similar to YouTube's layout, you'll know really well that YouTube allows you to actually go through and create these columns and then customize them. It'll be a similar idea except for in WordPress, and you won't have to just pick videos specifically. You could also choose images, blog posts, podcast episodes, links to other resources. Pretty much the sky's the limit. Now, one of the things that I am probably the most excited about that I'm going to be working into this new theme as I create it is membership content. So one of the biggest challenges most people have is they start to build a big platform that has a lot of content on it, is they start to ask the question, this is great, I'm getting a lot of traffic, but how do I monetize my audience? And so what I'm going to be building in here is the ability for somebody to actually create members only content. So if you are a videographer and you create regular YouTube videos, what you could actually do is create videos that are only available to your members, and then through your website that actually be able to sign up for a monthly or a yearly membership to gain access, at which point they'll be able to create an account and access all that content. So what you see here is just a nice collection of, it's got this little lock symbol in here to indicate that they can actually click on that, but then they would be prompted to sign up for a membership. It's also got a row here where people will be able to specify a call to action. So if there is the subscription, if you're doing that, or if you've got an opt-in lead magnet, which we've talked a lot about in this channel before to grow your email list, all sorts of things. If you got video clips that you want people to see, you'd be able to see all of those there. Then at the bottom, you have a nice little section where you can link to all your different social media platforms. Remember, one of the things I touched on in the last video is that I'm not saying that it's bad to have a following on social media or even to point people to social media, as long as you have a home base where all of your main subscribers and all of your content live. So even if you're just embedding your YouTube videos on this site, that's at least a great start to move people away from depending solely on YouTube or another platform and start to come on your site. So at the bottom, we've got these columns that people will be able to specify for extra links. One of the things that I do want to have in this site is the dynamic ability to be able to make it as simple or as diverse as you want in terms of the content that you are creating. Then one of the things you'll see up at the top, probably should have started here first, kind of went to the top at the end, but we've got a navigation. This will actually be a drop down, so people will be able to put nested menu items if they want to. Now, one of the things I typically recommend for most people is to stick to about 5 menu items unless you absolutely have to go beyond that. Most people I know who are running like personal brand websites will just get way too complicated with the navigation, and they'll create 7 to 10 main menu items and then 2 or 3 drop downs. The more drop downs you have, the more the user experience starts to drop down with the amount of increase. So to put that better, the more menu items, the less the user experience. So you want to make this as concise and simple as possible. But we are going to have the ability in here to actually go through and to specify drop-down menus if you want to. One of the things I'm also building into the theme, and this is super important, is that we've got a call to action off to the right where people will be able to click to either subscribe or join your email list or a number of other different options. But at the end of the day, a call to action is super important. Now, one of the reasons I'm really excited about this theme is because I'm actually going to be making this featured section up here where we previously saw articles and trending topics are totally customizable. So you're going to be able to embed a big video here if you want. So if you want to show your latest YouTube video so people can just click play, you can do that as well. If you happen to do live streaming, we're actually going to be working in a place where you can actually embed the player for your YouTube or your Twitch player. So if you decide to live stream on Twitch or if you live stream on YouTube or another service, you'll be able to, in this section right here, embed that player right on your front page. So if people go, you could always say, go to mywebsite.com if you would like to see me when I go live, rather than saying, you know, go to youtube.com/c/5783, you know, the whole long numbers that you have to go through to find someone's stream on YouTube. We're also going to have it so that you can even embed the chat as well. So again, if you are going to be streaming on YouTube or Twitch, you'll be able to embed that chat directly in this section here. So it'll be a native part of your website. And then it'll have all the features that we looked at previously in terms of being able to customize each of these rows. The other thing that I'm going to be kind of working into this theme as well is the ability to transition from light mode or dark mode. So in the previous examples we took a look at, they're very dark. However, you're not going to be limited to using a dark mode. You can have a light mode as well. So if you prefer a lighter look, or if you're going to be doing more written content, what I typically recommend is that for written content, you have it on a lighter background, which even in this theme, using the dark mode, if you do a written piece, you do a blog article in this theme with the dark mode, it'll still have a light background, because a lot of research has showed that an extensive amount of reading on a dark background with lighter text gets a little bit heavy and straining on the eyes. However, if you're going to be doing a lot of more written content, you could just use the lighter theme, and then that kind of takes care of itself. So as you can see, here is what an article would look like using the lighter version of the theme and then doing a blog article. So as you can see, there's kind of some written text here, and then there'd be a nice little bio at the bottom with some comments, and then even some related content at the bottom. So very clean. You'll see there's no sidebar. That is very much on purpose. Want this to be very clean and readable, easy on the eyes, easy to consume. Of course, no advertisements. It's just all the content in all of its glory. Then if we were to switch over to the dark mode, you'd see, once again, it's kind of got the dark area up at the top, similar to the rest of the dark examples we looked at, but you'll see that the content itself is on a light background, once again, to keep that reading experience at the top as good as it can be. And then again, we've got that bio and the conversation down below. And also on top of that, it just kind of helps highlight that written content. Here's an example of a single podcast episode. So it's going to bring in the player as the player right here, as well as the art. So your podcast art will show up here. Of course, we just got a nice little picture of a cat for now. And then this share bar, one of the things I'm going to be working in is the ability to click like. So if there's some piece of content you want to kind of gauge how much people are enjoying it, you can always tally up the number of likes that people are giving to that piece of content. And then of course tweet, share, and Facebook as well. And then again, we're going to kind of have this author bio. Now the great thing about this author bio is I'm going to be working this in such a way so that you'll be able to actually have as many authors as you want. So it can just be you, or you could have a bunch of guest authors, or even if you've got a team of writers, whatever you want to do, you'll be able to have that showcased at the bottom optionally. Now, one of the other things that I'm going to be working in here as well is a few of what we like to call custom post types. And these custom post types are going to help create these pages that are super simple to set up and have a specific purpose. So one of the things I always talked about in the past is how important it is to create a squeeze page. A squeeze page is pretty simple. It gives the user two options. One, they can take the action you want them to take. In most cases, it'd be probably to sign up for your email list and to get a free download along with that action, or to leave. And so what it is, I've actually worked in, or will be working in, based on these designs, the ability to create a very simple squeeze page that does exactly that. As you can see, there's no navigation. It's got maybe a logo at the top, headline, subheading, call to action. Then some kind of secondary text to give people a little bit more of description or information about it. Maybe you can even add in here an image. So then you'll scroll down to this primary call to action, and that's where you'll actually be able to sign up to the email newsletter or get the free guide. And we would recommend using something like ConvertKit to actually connect that to this theme, but that'd be the basic idea. And you'd be able to create as many of these as you want. And then what you can do is you could say to your audience in one of your videos, your podcast episodes, go to mywebsite.com/guide, where you'll be able to download my free guide or unlock a free video or something like that. But it is going to be super easy to set one of these up and to start using that website to grow your email list. Okay, and the last mockup I wanted to take a look at real quick is another custom post type, and it's going to be called recommended resources, or it's also going to be known as tools once we actually create this. And the whole idea here is that for most creators, you're going to find that people are going to be recommending tools and resources. I do it myself all the time. I recommend different camera gear and audio gear and all these different things. But the problem is that for a lot of people, they have to stitch together all these third-party tools. They've got their website, they've got their YouTube channel, and then they have to use this other tool just to be able to lay out affiliate links that they have through Amazon or other software that they use. Well, within this theme, I'm actually going to have the ability to create different sections or categories. So you could have one for camera gear, audio gear, my favorite tools and tech, whatever you wanted to do for categories, and then you'd be able to add in an image, a headline, and then your affiliate link. So it's very clean, very easy to read and navigate for your users. And the benefit of it for you is that, of course, it creates for you a very simple, easy to organize place for all of your affiliate links. So, for example, if you're on your podcast and people are always asking you what type of mic do you use, you would be able to simply say, hey, just go to mywebsite.com/tools. You'll be able to see what mic I'm using, all the different tools that I use. And then, of course, those could be your affiliate links, or you don't even have to use affiliate links at all. You could just use it as a way to be super helpful to your audience. Okay, so that's it. Every now and then I just like to give you guys a little bit of the behind the scenes of some of the things I've been working on. If you've been kind of following this channel for a while, you know I'm also the founder of Notable Themes, so that's where a lot of these things go live. They kind of find their home. One of the things we're also doing right now as well for a limited period of time is we are doing a behind the scenes live workshop every Friday morning. So if you'd like to join us for that, it's been a lot of fun so far. We've got people just kind of hopping in there, commenting and letting us know, we'd like to see this. This would be fun. We're just kind of showing what we're working on, getting feedback, and then just kind of incorporating into this theme as we create it. So if you would like to join us for those live workshops, obviously it's totally free. You can just jump in there, just watch if you want to, or you can kind of jump in the chat and comment as well. Head on over to notablethemes.com/live. That's always where you'll be able to find that. If you want to get notified, you can sign up there, or just pop in there anytime, notablethemes.com/live. Well, as always, if you found this video useful, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Hey, so I get asked all the time how I make my videos, so I decided to put together for you a free 1-hour training, which I'm calling the 7 Pillars of Effective Video. Again, this is totally free, so click the box in the top right-hand corner of this video. You can also head on over to rightly.tv/training. Again, this is totally free. Head on over to rightly.tv/training.